All right. This is Dr. Witz. I'm here going to do a quick look at Hades. Hades is one of my favorite games this year that I picked up. It is a rogue-lite, kind of progressive plot as well, which is not typical for your roguelike or light games. So there is progression overall. You see my save file here. That I'm going to do a new save file though, because otherwise it's going to be a lot of spoilers. You unlock a ton of things over the course of the campaign, just like it is in a lot of rogue light games. But the thing I love so much about Hades, we'll get to it after the first cutscene here.
Few tales are told of Hades, whose very name inspires fear and penitence, reminding us of the inevitable fate which we all share. I, however, mean to tell you such a tale. Listen carefully.
Goodbye, Father.
Alright, so here we are. We play as the character Prince Zagreus. If you didn't know, this game was developed by Supergiant, a small developer in San Fran, I believe. They've also made Bastion, Pyre, Transistor as well. And I generally love their art style, and their games have always been a lot of fun. So I kind of picked up this one based off the NoClip documentary about the making of this game, which is fascinating. You should go check it out. So essentially, yeah, this is just an ARPG kind of combat system, but you'll see as we go that you're going to pick up a lot of things to kind of change the way you play. And your starting weapon here is Stygius. It is a sword. And this is also very heavily based in Greek mythology, obviously being called Hades. We'll kind of see that as we go along here. I'll do a couple beginner runs and try not to give any spoilers. But essentially how the rooms work is you have a certain amount of enemies that you have to finish off. Sometimes there will be special conditions in those rooms or different for whatever reason. And then after every room, you get what's called a boon.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Hail, noble cousin. Now, let's get you from that miserable place.
Also, it's fully voice acted, and the voice acting is amazing. So is the music, and the art direction, as always with Supergiant games, is phenomenal. So you'll get 3 choices of boons of a particular class. So I ran into Athena, so I'll be getting Athena's boons. Her boons are all kind of centered around deflecting, which means when you essentially use an ability, your ability will deflect whatever projectile is coming at you. And a lot of her stuff is kind of based around that.
I know you can't hear me all the way where you are, goddess, but thank you.
And it'll tell you what you get in a room before you go in, and sometimes you have up to about 3 choices. And you have a dodge. And each weapon has a couple abilities. I'll show them out here, because you don't get a full breakdown of them for a while. Okay, so first you just have your basic slash, but it goes into a combo, a 3-hit combo. Then you can also slash, you can dash and attack at the same time. And then there's your Y, which is your special, it's called a special, and then a cast. A cast in the Y, or pretty much every attack will have a different... can kind of be augmented in a different way, and your weapons can also be augmented in a different way. I don't want to give too much away as far as that kind of stuff, because it's content that's like really fun to explore and experience when you finally get it. I think I mentioned I have about 45-50 hours in this game. I've completed quite a few runs. Go. And I still have yet to get close to what this game has to unlock. I'm not even done with the story yet. So, which I guess was only completed with a 1.0 launch.
They must have lots of these upon Olympus.
So see here, you get your 2 choices. And there's a couple different forms of currency that you kind of pick up as you go along. One's kind of for mostly cosmetic things. The coins, like most, are for just the run itself and using the coins at various locations we'll come across. And each realm has a particular set of enemies that you'll see. There's not a huge range of enemy variety, but I find with the way the rooms are kind of situated, you'll get a lot of variety in your combat anyway. And a lot of the variety also just comes from your build, because the builds really heavily influence how you use your abilities, which I think is one of the things that gives this game so much longevity and replayability for me. Alright, so can't afford anything. This is Charon's shop. He is the boatman of the River Styx, the ones who brings the souls. Yes, thank you, Charon.
Why, good to see you, Charon, mate. Just minding my own business, taking in the sights, and hey, what's that you got? Some sort of wares for sale? And I'll just have a look around.
And I don't have any money.
Infernal wares of the Stygian boatman Charon lie sprawled about.
And also the plot and story of this are great. There's also a lot of side stories related to the characters that you'll find in your little homeworld, and we'll get to that. And it's also related to Greek myth, so if you're familiar with Greek myth, these stories will kind of ring for you, and they're well done. It's not just like a readaptation of the stories, it's like after the characters have kind of died, like what happens to them. Oh, and there's more damage for hitting people into walls and traps. Traps do a lot of damage. Alright, do I want money? Okay, no, I definitely want this.
Can't heal myself, but I can fight.
And you do have ways of healing eventually, kind of after you win certain things. Oh god. And each realm is going to have a mini-boss, at least one mini-boss, sometimes 2, which sometimes are just kind of beefed up normal units like these guys are, or sometimes they're their own special kind of thing. I also love how clear the action is in this game. I never feel like I'm kind of out of control just smashing buttons. I mean, sometimes, but otherwise this game is great.
Man, how's it going? Look, you have got to get here with the rest of us already. We've been saving you a spot. Let me see what I can do. Make life a little sweeter for you in the meantime.
Okay, so yeah, each god kind of has their own deal. Dionysus obviously has to do with wine. So his stuff inflicts hangover, which is kind of a DOT thing. Yeah, that one probably makes more sense. Yeah, you can also augment your dash, which is nice. I might not make it to the boss. And also different hits of your combo do different amounts of damage. Depending on the weapon. And I won't say how many weapons there are, but there's a good few.
That sound. In the name of Hades.
Nice. Okay, yes, actually, I want to heal, so
Each exit has its own reward.
I'm gonna try to get to the first boss.
Numbskulls.
Oh my goodness. So much for healing up, also. my goodness. All right.
The underworld's power.
Survived another day. I think one more room and then boss. And there aren't a fixed number of rooms per realm, but it stays fairly consistent. But you can also sometimes opt to fight more.
For the mirror.
Oh, nope, another room. Also, each boon, I can kind of point it out, has different levels or different levels. So each boon has 5 levels, which will essentially just increase the damage of each boon. That's pretty much what that means.
Coin from the dead.
All right. And then they also have rarities, and the boons themselves have the rarities. So there's some like rare boons, legendary boons, epic boons. It goes from like white, blue, purple, red, orange, I believe, in terms of kind of the rarity scale. Or maybe just go from purple to orange. I think just purple to orange.
Kieran's shop.
Let's get another boon here.
Don't spend it all in one place.
Hey, what's with that Chiron, man? He's sort of, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good cast.
Right,
And let's heal.
Beyond the present chamber lies the outermost perimeter of Tartarus, promising terrifying.
And there will be characters you do run into as well in during your run.
Well, this is awkward.
Halt, Zagreus. Not one step further.
Come on, Meg. Haven't we had more than enough of each other by now? Besides, don't you have someplace else to be?
Your father sent me. All in all, I'd rather be on your bad side than his. Now you can turn back, like a good little...
I'll have to go with the painful way.
And also the long and the short of this plot is that you are the son of Hades trying to escape Hades. That's pretty much all I can give away about the plot.
Let's not get overconfident.
Deflect. Woo. God damn it. Oh, it's so sloppy. Oh, God, how did I get hit by that? Ugh. Oh gosh, dang it, dodged the wrong way. Okay, well that is essentially what a run is. There are a certain amount of realms, and each realm has a certain amount of rooms. So you kind of got the long and short of it is. It's hard to really show off the gameplay of this because it really picks up once you get a little further into the campaign, but I also don't want to spoil any of those things you unlock.
I'm up. Welcome to the House of Hades, where... Wait, I know you. Guess that means you died out there, huh? Well, don't be sad, though. Pretty much everybody dies sometime.
Some of us more than others.
So, and then every time you die, you come back, and there'll typically be new, like there's a little exclamation mark, you can talk to people.
Stupid boy. I told you nobody gets out of here, whether alive or dead. So how was your wanton ransacking of my domain?
Greetings, Father. My ransacking was a delight, thank you for asking. So I'll just be on my way again.
Be on your way indeed. What do I care? You shall never reach the surface. Go, see for yourself.
And then I can talk to
Infernal
you. Can pet a
watchdog
dog.
Cerberus
So
regards
winning.
the underworld prince with mixed emotions.
You watch over things for me, won't you, boy? You know I'd take you if I could. There's a good boy.
Ugh.
Yeah, and this game looks pretty basic on the surface, but
House of Hate.
it is quite complex. And you really, but it kind of brings it out in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming,
How goes
which
it,
is
Shades?
nice.
Good to see you, lad, despite the circumstances.
But it can also be a
Remember
very
your training out
simple
there.
game if you choose it to
Pain
be
of
that.
death is but another obstacle.
But there are a lot of secrets and fun things to find and unlock.
And fear is for the weak. Take care, Achilles.
You have come home. Do not despair, child. Such setbacks are inevitable and may be overcome with effort.
I believe it, Nyx. I'm grateful that you put us into contact. I know you took a considerable risk in reaching out.
The risk is not to me. I expected the Olympians would involve themselves in this eventually. Revealed?
Yes. We
And you notice there that I got a bunch of the Dionysus boons. It typically is that once you accept a couple boons from various gods, just those boons will show up, which is nice, so you can kind of keep a theme, because a lot of the boons do build on each other within a particular class.
Hey, room. I'm back.
And this is the magic mirror. This is where you can go to kind of increase. This is where that kind of progressive nature of a rogue-lite comes into effect. So you can kind of just increase your stuff here. So that gives me a revive, which is huge. And then you can keep increasing that as you go. You'll also get kind of challenges over here eventually. And those challenges can give you stuff. So, not to mention, there's also, like, once you've completed a run, you can make further runs harder on you, but for more profit.
In a perpetual state of utter disarray, despite his lord and
So there's a
master of
lot of
hell.
longevity to
Come
this
on,
game.
It's not that bad, is it? I'm wide awake.
A little bit of a weird thing there.
Okay.
So, yep, see, there are 8 weapons. You can unlock them as you go. We are meant to unlock the bow at this point.
There we go. Coronacht, the Heart Seeker. Let's deal some death.
And then when you get a weapon at the beginning in your little training area, you see in the top left there that there's kind of an instruction. So if you're new to a weapon, you can figure out how it works. Also, projectile weapons do automatically lock on. You can aim them as well. So...
Almost felt the nice place you got here, boyo. Name's Skelly, how's it going? But enough with the small talk out.
I don't remember having you on payroll, mate.
Who's your supervisor?
Oh, I'm not about to wrap my sources, pal. Just try and beat it out of me.
If you insist.
Okay, but yeah, so you get unlock 8 weapons kind of as you go, and there's even more within that and stuff like that. And then these are keepsakes. So keepsakes are kind of like a little trinket you'll bring along with you on each run. You can change them in between realms, and they give certain bonuses. And each keepsake can also be leveled up by using that keepsake more. I won't tell you how to unlock the keepsakes, but you kind of figure it out as you go. And then over here is just pretty.
I can do this. First get past the wretched shades of Tartarus. Easier said than done. And doubtless I'll be running into Meg.
So it'll
For a
tell you
friend,
the
not to
furthest
just be
chamber
on.
reached as well there.
Find a way up to Elysium from there, and after that... Alright, let's give it another shot.
All
I can
right.
escape from the courtyard
But that's
briefly.
pretty much what I wanted to say about Hades. It is a phenomenal game. I highly recommend you check it out. If you like action games, if you like rogue-lites, if you like rogue-lites, likes, as well as lights, it's just a phenomenal game. Great voice acting, great music, overall really high production value, and as well as, let me think here, just a lot of replayability. I mean, a ton of replayability. Every run feels different, and you'll spend a lot of time kind of figuring out each god and what they do. And I still haven't even gotten all the boons that are possible, and I'm, 40, 50 hours in. So, but anyway, this is Dr. Witz, and thanks for tuning in to a quick look.